Piercy, that's me, your positive voice in trucking. We are in Wyoming at a place called Little America at exit 68 on I-80. I wanted to kind of spin around here so you can see. This is a huge, huge place. It's got like 300, 350, 400 parking spots, something like that. In the truck stop over there, they have showers, but then they also have showers that have a separate soaking tub. So even though I usually don't have shower credits for here, they are an AmBest, and Prime does use AmBest, but I don't usually have shower credits. To me, it's worth the 12 or 14 bucks or whatever it was. And the Little America in Flagstaff also has the tubs like that. But it's still really windy here, and like, you can't see though. The trees aren't moving, but you can see my hair's blowing all over the place. We are on our way to Ogden, Utah, which is just a little bit above our Salt Lake City terminal. We were dealing with ice and wind in Nebraska, so I had shut down, and then through Wyoming, Gary drove overnight over Elk Mountain, and when he got to Rollins, he shut down for a couple hours. That's something that when you're dealing with wind and elements and stuff, it can be really, really tiring. And everybody now is freaking out about the coronavirus. You know, I keep getting questions about how I feel about it. Well, obviously a virus that's killing people is bad, hello. But I think people also have a tendency to freak out about things. So, you know, be prepared, but don't panic. It's the panicking that causes problems. Yes, my hair's still wet because I just jumped out of the shower. Like sunrise or sunset. You know, I'm just gonna edit that out.
That's what we need to show everybody right there.
So we came into Utah, and look at all these trucks getting pulled in. They are doing inspections on everybody. But I had all my paperwork and my logs are good, so woohoo! I did use personal conveyance, and it was just to move the truck when we were getting showers, and they actually pulled that up and looked to see what that was. Something else that they said that everybody's failing for, they don't have their registrations for their trailers. So make sure you always check that little tube in the front of the trailer to make sure that you have your registration. Okay, so this is Utah, and I picked this rest area because the scenery is amazing. And honestly, like, it doesn't do it justice, but to look at the rocks and the formations and look at the different layers of the green and the brown and stuff with the orange, it's just absolutely beautiful. You want to repeat that? So how was it driving today through Wyoming?
You know.
You did Elk Mountain at night.
Piece of cake.
And why is that?
Super truck. Super truck.
Alright, Captain. Where are we headed?
I'm headed to bed. I don't know where you go.
So we came into Salt Lake City because I wanted to fuel and I wanted them to check this one trailer tire out, and it turns out that now they want Gary to go do drug tests, so that's what he's going to do. The drug test requirements have been upped. The government now requires that 50% of your drivers are randomly tested every quarter. So to my understanding, it used to be 25% and now it's 50%. So everybody's going to get tested a lot more than they used to. And it's random, and just because you haven't, like, just because you took a test recently and you passed doesn't mean that you're not going to be tested again. So just keep in mind, if you guys are like drinking or doing drugs, you're most likely going to get caught. It's not worth losing your job over, so just don't do it. And let's see, I got 7 hours on my clock. We are headed to California, and then we're going to be going to New Albany, Mississippi. So I want to get into California, pick this crap up, and get the heck out. So this is the end of my drive shift. I have 24 minutes left on my clock. I've been driving through some nasty rain yuckiness for the last 100 miles or so. Yeah, 770 miles a deadhead or something. And you know, but as a company driver, we get paid for all miles, you know, empty and loaded. And going that far empty is really good for us because it affects our miles per gallon and our fuel bonus. So it means more money next week. Woohoo! Woohoo! There was a really, really cool thunderstorm that I wanted you to see, but I couldn't. The stupid dash cam still broken. So hopefully, if the lightning's still going, Gary's gonna wind up driving through Vegas. Yeah, look, my hair is all soaking wringing wet because my umbrella just like flipped inside out from the wind. But he's gonna drive through Vegas, so hopefully I'll get some good footage of that for you. Okay guys, this is Gary, miserable in the morning. He hasn't consumed all his coffee yet, and he's doing his trip planning. See, I can just see the little gears turning in his head.
Yeah, I'm doing the trip planning after I just got cussed out the other day because you wanted to be the trip planner. Now here I am doing my trip plan.
He's driving into the customer. He needs to know where he's going.
So that's why I just smile and nod when you talk, because I know what's...
You just smile and nod? See, this is a real serious mathematical rocket scientist type of calculus equation.
Thank you, trip planner. I got that. Should have had all this ready for me when I got up. I should have jumped in the seat and ready to go. That's a trip planner.
How long does it take you to write down directions?
I don't know, I just started.
Why were you writing down all that time?
I'm old school. I don't trust gadgets. Hey,
Ha ha! He beeped this time, not me.
I did a curious.
He did it, Kirsty. Thank God I don't cook, because I could have baked a cake from scratch by now.
Yeah, she's working on getting left at a truck stop.
He says that. That's a vain threat, you know that. So Gary was driving for 3 hours and then he got pulled into an inspection station and they're doing a level 2, walking around, and went all through the paperwork and stuff. But this is just what happens, and I'm in bed and they woke me up. This sucks. And he was just complaining to me earlier, saying at least he doesn't wake me up with this stupid stuff. Are you nervous, Gary?
No. I already passed it once today, so why be nervous?
Yeah, that's right. I took all the risk to begin with. And we did run this trailer through Salt Lake City terminal, so if there's anything wrong with like the brakes or the tires or anything like that, they would have found that when we went through, which is just another reason why you go through the terminals. So when we scan that paperwork in, then Gary will get a $25 past inspection bonus. So just part of trucking. And here's more typical stupid trucker crap. Okay, he's pulling out of the inspection bay and now the button for the window broke and he can't roll up the window. Of course it's like 30 degrees outside, so we gotta go play with that. Hey guys, so this is more of the harsh realities of trucking. Unlike a normal life, when if you're sleeping and you have to go to the bathroom, you just get up. You don't even have to turn a light on. You don't have to get dressed. You just go to the bathroom and you come back to bed. And when you go back to bed, the bed's not moving. There's usually not a lot of noise to keep you up. You don't hear honking, you don't hear engines rumbling, air brakes going. So, Gary drove 2.5 hours from that last DOT inspection. Okay, I was completely asleep for 2 hours before we got pulled into that weigh station. And then he drove 2.5 hours. I did not sleep at all. Let's see how much further he has. He still has 157 miles till we get there, which is going to be like 3, maybe 4 hours because we're in California. Okay. This is one of those bad nights for me. When I was training, this was more of a typical day, a typical night, no sleep. Because when you're training, it's almost like having an infant where you're not really sleeping. You're waiting for any sound and you're waiting to hear if they need you or they have an issue. Being with Gary is a lot different because I am sleeping a lot better. But tonight with the DOT inspection, the roads are really slippery. There was a really bad thunderstorm. You know, just the rain hitting on the windows while you're bouncing around and everything, and you hear people fly past you and it splashes water up on the truck. You know, if you're somebody who needs 7-8 hours uninterrupted sleep, trucking may not be for you. Seriously. Even if you're solo and you're parked, you know, you're going to hear the outside. If you're at a customer and there's yard dogs beeping, or there's people backing up and they're beeping, you know, there's all kinds of noises around us all the time. The air brakes are really, really loud. So it may not be for you. Can you use earplugs? Sure. Now, you might be wondering, well, what am I going to do if I'm expected to drive? Because he's going to drive us into this customer. We don't know how long this customer can take to load us. It's possible we could get into the customer and they make us wait, and then I could just sleep for a couple hours waiting. It's possible they get us in and get us out, and then he drives some more, and maybe I could get a couple hours sleep then. Or it's possible that I could drive us out of there, drive for a little bit to find some place to park, and then shut the truck down and go to sleep, have him go take a shower or whatever while I'm sleeping, so that I have enough to be able to drive. This is one of the reasons why I learned how to do 8-2 splits, because I'm able to sleep for a couple, 2 to 3 hours at a time, and sort of like pep myself up or recharge myself. You know, not everybody can do that. Also keep in mind that reefer, flatbed, dry van, the different divisions are going to be on different time schedules. So if you're driving dry van, you might be able to do mostly days and be on more of a schedule. That doesn't really happen in reefer at my company. Most reefer people I know, even at other companies, are flip-flopping constantly. So, you know, this is the harsh reality. And like I said, if you have to go to the bathroom, you know, the bathroom is not right outside the door like it is back home. Where is that bathroom? It could be 50 miles down the road. So if I woke up and said, oh, I gotta pee, guess what? We were in Minnesota and there seriously was not anywhere, not a gas station, not a fuel station, nothing. Not a Walmart where we were for almost 300 miles. What do you do? So he had to come into the Flying J to take his 30-minute break. You know, now I'm supposed to be sleeping. My choice is stop here where I know there's a bathroom, or wait, and then what? It's 157 miles to the customer. I know the customer has bathrooms because I looked on Google. But a lot of customers, they don't have real bathrooms. They have porta potties, and I'm not using them. So, you know, this all goes back. Yeah, look at me. I look terrible. Oh, well, sorry. You guys wanted reality? Here it is. But, so, yeah, this is trucking life. And people are probably sitting here saying, well, why is she putting up with it? That sounds terrible. You have a horrible company. My company's great. And why do I put up with it? Because I just made another $2,000 this week, and I haven't talked to my boss that they claim is my boss. I don't know. He don't act like a boss. He acts like my best friend. You know, he never orders me to do anything. He asks me if I'm willing to do something. If I tell him, no, I can't do it, he says, okay, 10-4, thanks. I mean, like, so, like Bernadette LaShawn, she said on her, on one of her videos that, you know, we have a team, a support team. I have the same road assist person, the same fleet manager, the same payroll person all the time. The same weekend dispatchers. Usually the same night dispatchers. So, you know, and all these people make my life easier. I haven't been bothered by my quote-unquote boss in a month. They just send me my assignments. I stop when I feel like it. I shower and eat when I feel like it. I mean, I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered. Even the customers. People complain about customers. I don't know what they're complaining about. People complain about the DOT. We were just stopped by DOT twice in 24 hours. They were nice. They weren't nasty. You know, I saw people get nasty with them. But, you know, I know some people will say, well, this isn't worth it. Well, I went through a lot worse at the post office. I really did. And compared to that, this is easy. Because guess what? I didn't sleep then either. I didn't have a normal life then either. I didn't get holidays off and be home with family, you know, unless I called out from work. And then they threaten to write you up and suspend you and all that. So, you know, here I just say, yo, I want to be home on such and such date, and I'm home. No, I get 3 weeks paid vacation a year, and if I said, hey, I want to be home on such and such date for a vacation, I'm home. If I tell them I don't feel like working tomorrow, shut down the truck, I don't work tomorrow. And most places, you don't have that flexibility. You know, if I just said, hey, I don't feel good today, leave me alone till tomorrow, I get 10-4 thanks, feel better. There's a lot of flexibility in this job, even as a company driver, and people will constantly tell me, oh, you have no control as a company driver. Okay, sure. Thank you for your statement, for your opinion. I'm so glad you're so well informed since you have no idea what you're talking about. I appreciate it. You who've never been a company driver versus me who's been so for 4.5 years. I thank you. So, alright, rant over. I'm going to eat my salad, and then I'm going to try to go to bed. So, thank you for watching. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.